once again, we're back. It's that time again. It's Friday. It's funky.
It's war with a mate time.
It's war with a mate time. Everyone's favourite time on a Friday. Apart from when they clock out of work, probably. But it's my favourite time on a Friday. Did you know that, Andy?
Well, when I release it and don't tell you.
When I send you over the audio file and then at some unknown time in the day, it just pops up on Spotify and other popular streaming platforms.
Yeah, keep it exciting.
Yeah, I do get a little bit of excitement from it. And so should everyone else, because this is the podcast where me and you cover SPI's, the Campaign for North Africa, the game that just keeps on giving. And
give so much.
Give it does. For the uninitiated, this is a board game that's going to take a really, really long time to finish.
8 years.
8 years,
Was
optimistically.
Our initial guess, probably longer.
8 years is looking really, really optimistic now, especially after today. But all in all, it's all good fun, in theory. We've had a real one today, haven't we? We've had a real...
Well, actually, quite a lot. We'll just jump into some game stuff.
Yeah, why not? So what should we open with? Go for it.
I reckon we open with the game board, because we mentioned some magnets last time, but we've updated them. We've put magnetic sheets behind the maps in their picture frames, and we put some little magnets on 2 of the maps so far. We're going to do all of them, though, so we don't have to set it up every time. And the magnets can just stay there during the week, which means this is finishable, and we're not going to spend 2 hours of every session putting it up and putting it down.
Yeah, because last time we'd bought the dodgy magnet sheet because we'd bought essentially the material that is on the back of fridge magnets. We bought a big sheet of that, stuck that behind the game board, and then we're confused why the magnets weren't sticking to it. And then we did a bit of research, very, very light research, which we should have done beforehand.
They not sticking to it, they were demagnetizing it.
We were stripping the magnetism away from the material. So we got, that stuff cost, what, it was like £20 a sheet?
That was like 12. But
£12, that's not too bad, I suppose. But we demagnetized it, so now we just got some like rubber kind of
I just
sheet.
have a sheet of unmagnetized. It's just got to go in the bin, I think.
Yeah, you can't do anything.
Think of anything to use it for.
Maybe if you leave that out your back alley, someone will get some use for it. That's what you seem to find. Yeah, you seem to find pieces out there. So we did that. That didn't work because we didn't do any research beforehand. We just guessed. And then we've bought actual ferromagnetic sheets to put behind the game maps and slightly bigger magnets to go on the game pieces. And it works. They click on perfectly.
Work beautifully.
They just click into place. So now we can tip the boards up vertical and all the pieces stay on.
And just stack them.
So that means that you can now stack these up at the end of a play session.
I get my living room back.
You get your living room. It's a 2-for-1 for the simple price of a few magnets and some ferromagnetic sheets. You get yourself a brand new room. How lovely is that?
What a bargain. Normally a room will cost less than that. I am getting it back rather than getting it, but
Yeah, that's true. This is a bit of a downgrade. We're back on the floor again, like we were last week.
Yep, because the game gets surfaces and we get the floor.
Yep. Man plans, game laughs.
Yeah.
Which is indicative of what's happened today during the play, because we've been doing a lot of truck stuff.
That's the game, yeah. We've been trucking it up, working out now that everything's on the map, and we've also done almost all the prep. We were just finalising some last bits and pieces. After your bombshell that I'm going first, I've been figuring out who's moving where. So next time we jump in, we'll have pieces moving around.
We will. Our trucks specifically. Well, actually, no, the trucks won't be moving for a while. But the trucks are ready to go. I know where my trucks are. I've got my 2nd and 3rd line trucks, all the ones that are going from ports to supply dumps to different places. We also figured out, we've already read this in the past, but now we've got it nailed down to the point where I'm confident enough to talk about it. We know how to make a supply dump. So supply dumps are where you can deposit supplies, funnily enough. You're looking at fuel, food, ammo, water, that's the other one. You can just stick that down somewhere. Your other trucks can ferry it along, pick it up, drop it off. But you need to build them first. Didn't realise that. You have to build them. You can't just leave them in a hole in the desert for all the desert critters to come get them.
Well, you can build a supply dump, or you can just leave a bunch of stuff in the desert.
But that limits the types of resources that can get them.
Yeah.
Or you can also do another fun thing, which is make a fake supply dump, a dummy one, so that I put down the piece on the board. You think that it's real. You get there later on. Ha! Gotcha! It's fake.
That hasn't fooled me yet, but at one point during today when you were looking over the map, you said you were just, fuck. And you were like, this isn't real, and I've been planning around it.
Yeah, I did get caught off guard by myself, because I was trying to plan a route for my trucks, realised I was planning it to a fake supply dump. I didn't give away which one it was, though, did I? You don't know which ones are real, which ones are fake.
No, I have no idea.
You have no idea.
I'm
Good.
busy dealing with my own logistics before I start thinking about yours.
Yeah, you've got a lot of men boxed in by my men. That'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
I think a lot of the Commonwealth forces are going to die in turns sort of 1, 2, 3.
Well, we've had a horrible revelation at the very end of today's play.
Well, very funny.
Funny, horrible.
This game has just sort of gone, oh, you think you've got the hang of me, hey? Have this, and it's just thrown a spanner into the works.
So we've skipped slightly ahead with the game in the sense of we've got a bit of homework to do again. It's the expenditure of stores, so all of your food. So it's like a static value that all the infantry need to have so much food. So we're gonna tick all those pieces off during the week when we're doing it in our own time rather than meeting up and sitting in silence. So we've got that to do, but the bit that happens after that is the weather determination. And we thought, well, let's do that. The only other thing, in between that is evaporation of water and fuel, which, yes, is part of the game.
Yeah.
So there is a stage in which you need to determine how much water and fuel has evaporated, which is why we check the weather, because that also determines how fast. If it's hot weather, stuff evaporates faster. Yeah. And your stuff evaporates faster
just
anyway.
Another fantastic detail of this game is my stuff evaporates much faster because I don't have jerry cans until, like, the last year of this.
Yeah, so your stuff evaporates way quicker than mine because we were the engineering masters back then, weren't we?
Yeah, with your cappuccino machines.
Yeah, cappuccinos.
And the fact there's a bit in that you brought to my attention today in one of the tables of weapons. There's an addendum to explain this isn't a mistake. One of the Italian weapons is good.
It's nice that they let me know that, so I didn't think I was reading the wrong sheet because most of that stuff was pretty bad. But
good jerry cans.
Yeah, good jerry cans. So the evaporation, that's an important part we're going to have to do as well. So we did the weather. We ruled the weather, and we determined that the weather is not normal weather because you roll it on a table. You roll 2 dice, and that determines what kind of weather you've got going on. And what we happen to roll is that there's a rainstorm going on.
Very low odds. We rolled 64 out of 66. You add a d6 to another d6, so like to get a 2-digit number. So very high roll, and that has got us a rainstorm.
And it's not good because a rainstorm means a bunch of bad things, including reduced movement in different areas. Certain areas you just can't access altogether with like motorized vehicles, stuff like that. But worst of all, it means no aircraft can fly in the map areas covered by the rainstorm.
And which map areas did we get here?
Well, the maps are listed from A to E.
Yeah,
there's
your
5 of them.
side is sort of A, B. I've got D, E, and we're fighting over C at the start.
That's right. Yes, yeah, that's how it's divided. So it's turns out we rolled a 6 on the next table, which determines which of the maps are affected, and that means it's B, C, and D, which is where all the actions happen.
So there'll be, we've done this offensive on these first 6 turns to get our grips on how the game works. In the convoy stage, we've not found any convoys, so we haven't engaged with that section. And now we're missing the air rules for the first stop stage.
Because we've got very few aircraft on the extremes of the maps, which is my map A, so the furthest to the west, and your map E, furthest to the east. We've got very few airfields, and the ones that we do have, they're sort of pointless now because we can't fly them into the other maps to do anything of note because it's covered in rain.
Yeah,
so that's it.
That's the thing. I have a couple of planes that are like tarmacked in E, but everything they'd fly towards is in B, C, and D. So they can do a little lap around my map, but they're useless.
Yeah, the only map that has both of our units on is C.
Yeah,
I've got units exclusively on A and B. You've got exclusive units on D and E. C is where we cross over in the border between Libya and Egypt, and there's nowhere else for the planes to go. So we're not going to get it. We can't do plane stuff this op stage. So that's another rule set we don't get to test out in this testing thing. So
are we going to do the air combat? Absolutely not. We're going to miss it on the naval convoys, and now the weather won't let us do it.
So that means for the first whole op stage, we're probably going to miss all air-based stuff, which is absolutely horrible. So, yeah, the game thrown another real spanner in the works. That's not all, though, because we did all this hard work on the trucks. We spent all of today, more or less, sorting out truck logistics. And a lot of that is based around how far your trucks can travel to make sure everyone is supplied correctly. And because of the rainstorm, trucks have like half their movement on roads and stuff.
Yeah, well, roads are like, units spend something called CPA, it's like capability points to move. A road uses half a capability point, so this just turns all the roads into tracks, which use one. So everything's moving half the pace.
Yes.
And that's if you're on roads, if you're lucky.
And we've just spent all of today planning stuff out with precision so that the roads are really effective. First thing I was talking to you about today, I was bragging about the fact that I can get my guys all the way from the bottom left rather, of map A across to the top right of map A. I can't do that now. Because, I mean, I can do that, but then they can't go any further.
No.
Because beyond that, all of the roads just become these muddy messes. So,
you know what's really bad here?
Everything about
this
man.
rainstorm might cause some people to die of thirst.
Well, it refills the wells. That's in the rules. It refills depleted wells, and again, because this is the very first turn of the game, there's no depleted wells. But there might be people who starve to death.
Yeah.
Because their food won't arrive to them. So that's great.
Because their truck is stuck in the mud.
Oh, no.
Several hundred kilometers away.
Can't believe it's played out like this. Well, I can. This feels like the game's
it's exciting.
The game's really tapping into its supernatural powers again. It's horrible. It's horrible. Oh, it's exciting, though.
Oh, yeah. Next time things are moving... I know we've been saying this, since the podcast has started.
You say that about moving. It is a little while before the moving happens, remember?
Well, no.
We've got a lot of depletion stuff to do.
Yeah, I was going to homework that.
So much homework to do.
I know.
We have so few days in between.
Yeah. Here's the thing. It's either sitting in silence looking at stuff or homework. So I'm going to try and get some of it done ahead of time. Again, I'm saying this now. We'll get to next recording, and I will have been busy and done nothing.
That's what I feel like keeps on happening with my trucks. So now I'm glad that I've finally got most of them done. All I need to do is put some... Yeah, I need to make sure that they've got enough food for all the people that they're feeding. It's like feeding the 5,000, which also happened in a desert environment.
Yeah. I mean, I wish we could utilize Jesus' logistical ability.
Yeah, you've
chuck a few bread and fish and then feed the army.
I've got a Rommel game piece who shows up later on, but not a Jesus one.
That's not a Jesus figure.
I know. He does have some sort of like Roadrunner type capabilities, though.
Yeah, he's a bit of a meep.
He is a bit of a meep. He's a very cheeky fellow in the game. I feel like it really downplays probably some atrocities he was involved in. Instead, he's just a cheeky chap. But he's a long way off. He's a long way off. The Germans are... We don't even need to talk about the Germans. They're not part of this for a long, long time. Right now, it's just us, the Italians, the Commonwealth, and a big old rainstorm.
Yeah.
Oh, dearie me.
Just turning the desert in it. Does it do... I don't know what a rainstorm in the desert... It just makes the sand.
It means you can build really good sand castles.
That's cool.
Yeah.
To keep your tanks out.
Keep your tanks what?
To keep your tanks out, I'll build a big sand castle.
Oh, no, I'll just plough through them.
What?
My tanks can go through sand.
Not that long.
I've read the rules.
They do break down.
Yeah, that's true. We can't go too far with it. Oh, dearie me.
So no air cover the first turn.
No air cover whatsoever.
Is this a... You don't have to give me specifics, but were you planning to rely on your Air Force a lot?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes, a lot.
Okay.
A lot of my plans, honestly, so much of what I planned relied on me being able to do a lot of stuff with my planes. So this has really fucked my plans. Quite badly. Oh, dear. It's fine. It's fine. I'll be all right. Going to crack open a nice cold brewski. Everything will be okay. Everything will be fine.
It won't.
It will. It has to be. Goodness gracious. Well, I think the magnets magnets are great. Magnets are great progress. Rainstorm, bit of a setback. Overall, we're at net zero.
One's a very concrete physical project we've completed, and the other's the game working as intended.
The game's not working as intended.
Balance each other out.
I mean, yeah, fair enough. We don't have to spend hours doing setup every single time we play, so we're saving, half of the time that we were wasting. Fair enough. But, it's going to be really wet.
Yeah, okay.
You can't deny that, how wet it's going to be.
It's going to be pretty icky.
Icky sticky. Peggy 18.
It is going to be a bit Peggy 18 out on that battlefield.
It's definitely going to be a lot of high-octane action. Probably going to rile some people up.
I have concerns about prisoners.
Are we talking about the game still?
You can talk about the game and real life simultaneously.
All right. Come on, speak in your double entendre.
I feel like once I start appearing, everything's going to get fucked.
Again,
I don't
that
fully
applies to both.
understand them.
Yeah.
And I think they're gonna die of starvation.
Okay.
This was the war without hate, and was what they called it. I feel like I'm gonna accidentally starve a camp full of people.
Hey, I think that might be the first time we've referenced actually the homage that the name of this podcast is.
Oh, is it?
I think so, actually. Yeah. Which is that this was an homage to the fact that the campaign for North Africa was referred to as a war without hate. So we came up with the brilliant idea of
a war with a mate.
War with a mate.
And then found out, no, there was a lot of atrocities.
Yeah, this board game is one of them. I think this is one of the biggest atrocities that's come out of this.
Yeah.
Only because it's affected me personally, and yeah, I suppose it's
That's
mostly
how empathy works, isn't it?
hubris and selfishness, short-sightedness, narrow-mindedness has drawn that conclusion for me. But the prisoners are going to be bad. You take so many prisoners throughout the game, and they need food. Because again, yeah, like you say, can't just starve them. Can't just starve them.
I mean, you can't. I don't think you're allowed. We'll see.
You're not allowed, but
this might be horrific.
If it happens, it happens. If we run out of food, oh no, who are we gonna prioritize? Is it the prisoners, or is it the us?
It's us.
It's the us. I don't think the us actually show up for you in this.
Yeah, they do.
Do they?
Yeah. 41, 42. I get some American units on my supply thing.
It's
my
the
reinforcement track.
There's the lease land agreement, was it?
Yeah.
That pops up later on, where you get a bunch of trucks from the US.
I get trucks, and I get some of their German tanks, I think.
The German tanks?
Sherman.
Oh, I was going to say, buddy, I'm the Germans.
I'm the Shermans.
You're the Shermans. Ah, see what they've done there. They just thought they'd rhyme.
Yeah. It was Germans. They wanted them to pack it in, and then it got shortened.
Shush German tanks. I love learning about history.
It's a fun, magical realm where you can make things up.
We should get more history guests on. I feel like we actually paid attention to what we were talking about when we had guests on.
Yeah, it's not fair on the guests, though.
It really wasn't. We had some lovely guests on, and they were talking about history, and here we are now. Last week you were talking about cats being community property. I mean, it's just not at all related to the game, is it?
How the not mighty have descended.
how the fallible have remained fallible.
What? You yell at me for doing stuff like that.
For doing
Just
stuff
making
like what?
random noise into the mic.
I don't yell at you.
Yeah, have a go at me for my mic technique.
I do a lot.
Yeah. You'll be editing it and you'll fire it. This is uneditable and unlistenable. And then you'll shine it up and put it out the door.
I polish it off. You have this horrible habit of when you're talking about something about the game, you'll look over towards the map and start talking to the map instead of the microphone. You son of a bitch!
It's the map's house. You have to address it.
Yeah, I know, but you're addressed with your eyes, like I do. Give it those hungry eyes.
Don't look at the map like that, man.
I can look at the map however I want.
You actually can't. It told me it doesn't like it.
That's fair. It's alright, I don't have my glasses on. It'll just think I'm sort of off-centered looking in its general direction, but not quite at it.
That can be quite disconcerting.
It won't feel the stare of arousal.
It better not.
Is that a stack of magnets sticking out of you, or are you just happy to see me?
It's a stack of It's very angry at you.
Oh, yeah. It's still got a stack of magnets poking out there. Big grey pokies.
A lot smaller than it used to be.
What is?
The stack of magnets.
No.
Yes.
It's because you've been sticking them in little places.
Makes it smaller every time.
That's how that works, whittling it down. Oh, dearie me. How about some common ground, Andy? And now for something nicer. A little oasis in the war. It's time for some common ground. I'm trying the intro for common ground. I'm recording it. Maybe.
Yeah. All right, what you got? It's your week.
Should we? Yeah, let's get into
And
some...
as a weekly tradition for the common ground, the person who's not doing it has asked the other person when we're outside, hey, do you have a common ground? And then you've gone, no shit. And then you've thought of one in the preceding hour.
I have.
So what you got for me?
So I've got a bit of common ground for you. The premise I've got a proposition for you, which is that I think in lieu of a quarterly bonus, for example, let's say quarterly.
Okay.
You could go annual, depends how you want to do it, in a workplace. In lieu of that, the figure in charge, the manager, the boss, should have to be subject to a roast.
I mean, I very strongly disagree. Instead of a bonus.
Instead of a bonus. That's right.
You want to roast a manager.
That's right, yes. Well, not necessarily manager, but someone, I think someone higher. It would have to be someone slightly higher. So your manager's manager, for example.
Okay. So he gets to save probably tens of thousands of pounds spread across the organisation by taking everyone's bonus. And then he gets a roast in his honour for that.
Not right. So again, maybe you're looking at this the wrong way.
Because remember, you only roast the ones you love.
No, I don't see it that way at all. I think this is an opportunity to be really pointedly horrible towards an individual, and I think that's a good thing.
I would also like my bonus though.
Well, that's the thing. See, I've worked in quite a few.
It should be a thing of you get your bonus separately. There's also one day a year your boss can't. You get like a vocal purge at work.
I've worked in a lot of places in the past where I've dealt with sort of managers and higher ups who I've really not been very keen on, and I genuinely think I would have got more from that job if instead of getting a little bit of extra cash every few months, if I and others got to really speak quite candidly about what we thought of that individual. And I don't think I'm alone in this. I think there's a lot of people who would really benefit from hearing, because you get all these these sort of feedback surveys, don't you, in lots of jobs?
Yeah.
Where it's like, tell us what you think. How do you rate your manager? How do you rate your workplace?
Yeah.
Are you satisfied with your job? And I don't think people, even though there's a comment section in there and it's anonymous, I think there's a lot of people who still hold back a lot. But if everybody sat there having a good time...
So they hold back on an anonymous, personalised survey that's just them, but they're going to let loose in front of everyone at the company.
Well, yes,
publicly.
Because what they've done with these surveys is it's a perfect example of divide and conquer. People feel isolated and on their own. Whereas if you're in a room full of people, that mob mentality starts to build and everyone's hurling insults. And then they need to start thinking, right, hang on a minute. Why are they going in this particular way? Because why are they this angry? Why are they so enthused about saying all of these things?
Because it's roast day. They'll just be like, oh, it's roast day.
Exactly.
They won't learn anything.
Yeah, but nobody sits there all week and thinks, oh, I can't wait for survey day. Can't wait to put this in the survey.
No, but the person being roasted would be like, oh, it's a roast. It wouldn't have the effect you want.
It would. Because the thing is, these people are used to being coddled by their surveys and their feedback and, oh, well, we'll give you a bit of pizza. That'll stave you off, won't it? But no, not in this situation.
Okay. Yes, the surveys are bullshit. The pizza parties are bullshit. The one thing that's not bullshit is the money. You want to remove some of the money and add more bullshit.
Andy, all about the money all of a sudden.
Yes.
What is this? You cash monger.
Of course.
Of course, I didn't think that of you. I thought better of you.
Why?
I don't know, actually. I've got no reason to whatsoever.
Very few people would do their job if they weren't getting paid.
Well, no one should do their job if they're not getting paid, and I'm definitely not saying don't get paid. I'm hoping that this fosters a better environment within the workplace where all of the people hate the manager, and that builds, I don't know, some sort of revolt, mutiny.
Okay, what about this?
Okay, let's piece something together.
Instead, you still don't get your bonus money.
Okay. Oh, great.
But there's no roast. Instead of not getting the bonus money, that amount of money is spent on a firearm.
Right.
And then your manager and your boss knows you now have a firearm. And he will just treat you better all year so he doesn't get Luigi'd. So management should buy you a gun so they're implicitly threatened to treat you better. And that does what you want with the roast.
So was that Luigi'd as a verb?
Yeah.
For being...
Put them in the haunted mansion.
Oh, no. Okay, so you want to... So that's what happens, okay. So you want to make sure that these bosses, these fat cats, don't want to end up in the haunted mansion.
Yeah.
All right.
And I'm not advocating anyone put them there. They're just aware the mansion exists and that all their employees have guns.
Just a
and
reminder.
they'll be nicer.
So is this every quarter? So you get a new firearm every quarter?
Yeah, depending on how good your bonus would have been.
I feel like after a while, though, that sort of peters out a little bit in its effectiveness, because I feel like your boss going, oh, well, Andy's got 11 firearms to Andy's got 12 firearms. I feel like after a while, it's all... One of them will put me at harm's, I don't think it's not a great, sustainable way. Sorry, the mansion thing's really thrown me off. It's, I feel like it loses its stopping power quite early on.
No, you are right. That's fine. I put it out there. You've spotted some holes in it.
Okay, fair enough. Candid. Well, I think while we haven't been able to find a perfect solution, we've at least touched on the fact that maybe money isn't everything. Maybe we do need to foster a better sense of community in the workplace.
Whether that's by doing a roast or giving people guns.
Either way, there needs to be more fear going upwards.
Yeah.
There we go.
We can common ground on that.
There we go. Common ground is fear should point up.
Yes.
Beautiful. Beautiful. What a good common ground.
I think that's a thing from a Batman villain.
No, I think that's a thing from Batman.
No, that's very much fear going down.
No, Batman pushes it up.
He's a billionaire.
Yeah, but not when he's in the
He
suit.
can only punch down.
Batman's not a billionaire when he's in the suit.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
Batman's not a billionaire.
Yeah, he's got the Bat credit card.
Once.
Yeah.
He has that. He has that on one occasion, and I'll be honest. I don't advocate for that.
He shouldn't be using traceable currency.
He really shouldn't. He's in a lot of danger for doing that.
He probably loves cryptocurrency.
No, I feel like he wouldn't. I feel like he's above that. Actually, it depends on which Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Christian Bale, he wouldn't get involved in it.
No. Ben Affleck's Batman would lose all his money on
I
crypto.
was just about to say, Affleck.
Ben Affleck's Batman lost so much money on the hook to a coin.
I can see Ben Affleck. You know how he looks all washed up and stuff, and there's sort of it alludes to the fact that Robin's dead. I guarantee Robin died in some shitcoin scheme. Got caught up in it, and it just went sideways so quick. Robin got killed. I don't know how it happened, but that's definitely Affleck's story. You know what I really like, actually? It's Ben Affleck's his public appearances where they get those candid pictures of him, and he just looks miserable.
Yeah.
He just looks like he hit. It looks like
I like that.
It looks like he's the victim of a shitcoin scandal. The guy is. He really knows how to look like he's really full on and kind of packing it in.
Yeah. Don't know why. Seems like he's got a pretty good life.
I mean, you never know what's going on behind the scenes, unless you watch the behind the scenes special features, I suppose. But he's got a good career. But
He's friends with Matt Damon.
Yeah. I feel like Matt Damon might be a lot to be around.
Friend.
No. But we both had something negative to say. Guess we'll leave that at that.
Yeah.
We clearly have thoughts about Matt Damon. Well, in terms of the game, which is not Matt Damon. I've always said that about the SPI campaign for North Africa. What happens next?
Well,
Because you had a proposition earlier on, which I wasn't fond on,
which one was that?
that we finish the game and then we play a SPI campaign for
yes.
North Africa 2.
Well, that's rumbling down the pipes since 2016. They've been trying to make I think it was described as simplified and refined version. So when we finish this, we'll play test that and compare them.
I can't believe anybody would ever want to play a simplified version of this, because it sort of takes away everything that it is.
Yeah, a simplified version of this is not. It's just a Risk. Oh, they're probably not going to simplify it that much.
What makes this what it is the fact that it's so deeply convoluted. That's the fun of it. If it was any simpler, it would not be enjoyable.
No.
It's in that sort of sweet spot. Whereas if you take anything away from that, it won't be anywhere near what it is here. It's horrible. I enjoy it. I enjoy the horrible nature of this.
Yeah, if it wasn't like an 8-limbed monster, it wouldn't be interesting.
No, it really wouldn't. And I think that's part of what I enjoy about this, the monstrous nature of it. All in all, this game being the mess it is the beauty of it.
Yeah.
And how we choose to cover it is part of the fun.
We'll be more and more game focused over time as there's more game to talk about.
Yeah, that's true. I think as it goes on, it will become more and more oriented around the game. We're finding our way there, and ultimately we aren't particularly well informed war gamers. We warned you that from the first episode, and that's still the case.
Yeah.
The only wargaming we're doing is this. So you'll have to excuse our surface level commentary at times about something so vast and complicated, but we will not compromise. We will not play the easier version of the game, and no one else is doing this. So if you want coverage of this game, this is how it's done.
I love how hard you cling to that no one else is doing this.
This is just us. No one else has done this before. So I'm sorry if you wanted a different way for this to be approached, but this is the only way it's getting approached. We will adapt as much as we can as we go, but I'm afraid
We are going to be us.
we don't know how to be better. Shucks. Whew, it's a humdinger, eh?
I mean, yeah, absolutely.
Well, that maybe it's a shorty.
Yeah, maybe it is. We didn't. Yeah, it's just a lot of bookkeeping at the minute. I just keep saying it, but it's like I want to talk about the game more.
We've talked about the game parts today.
Yeah.
We've had a fairly succinct common ground. This was a nice neat episode.
Yeah,
we've really wrapped it up. I mean, I'm still hot on the heels of being quite ill, so I think wrapping it up into a nice tight one probably the best way to go.
Yeah,
I think we've done well.
Stopgap one. I am going to put images of things on a gallery page on the website. I'm saying it on the podcast, so I actually do it, because this podcast is ultimately an accountability tool.
It is.
So
I take it we've had no emails, by the way.
No, of course
Absolutely, of course. Oh well, we'll see how that plays
Maybe
out.
next week.
Maybe. So we've given you a short one, so that means you've all got about 10 minutes spare to do what you want. So go off, have some fun, make yourselves a beverage.
Check out the website. And
Check out the website.
Spend 10 minutes telling people about the podcast.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, do that for us.
Yeah.
And we'll...
It's 8 minutes now. We're running out of Ivan Jelligizing time. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so... actually, yeah, time is ticking down. Well, we'll leave you to it. You've got, about 7 or so minutes. So you go do what you want. Do some networking. Tell people about this, about the game.
Send us an email. Network with us.
Yes, tell us something in general.
Maybe
tell us anything.
If you've got any specific questions about anything in the game.
Yeah, or tell us a secret.
Tell us a secret and a question.
Yes, tell us a secret, ask us a question. And stay subtle, humble, and brave. Always do that part. Well, I think that's it.
Yep.
I think we actually ran out of things to say quickly there.
So, stay subtle, humble, and brave, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah. Speak to you then. Fare thee well.
Bye.